Congress Jodo the Jaipur Jhagda. Vicious Game of Thrones in Congress party. Loyalist Gehlot has turned rebel. While Rahul plays football in Kerala. Has the High Command been shown its place? Gehlot versus Gandhis. Who'll win this fight?
All the inside track information on what's happening in the Congress at this moment in Delhi, in Jaipur and in Kerala. Coming up on the Newstrack, here are the headlines I'm tracking tonight. No end to the Congress desert storm in Rajasthan. Gehlot digs in his heels as Sachin Pilot waits for a directive from the High Command. India Today conference. Bollywood actress Jacqueline Fernandez in court. Actor evades questions on link to conman Sukesh. Bollywood diva has been granted interim bail. 20-year-old ponytail girl who went viral for participating in Iran's anti-hijab protest is shot dead. Meanwhile, in India, pro-hijab stirs now spreads to Kerala. Apple starts manufacturing iPhone 14 in India in Foxconn's plant located near Chennai. The tech giant wants to move 25% of its entire iPhone production line to India by 2025. Deadly school shooting in Russian city of Izhevsk. At least 6 people, 20 injured after gunman opened fire, shooter kills himself. Congress is imploding in one of the only 2 states where it still is in power. Rajasthan's desert storm threatens to sweep away whatever little hold the Gandhis have on the Congress, with Loyalists and their most trusted aide Ashok Gehlot turning rebel. The grand old party is in damage control mode. This as Rahul Gandhi continues his Bharat Jodo Yatra.
Camps on fire. Show of strength or an outright warning. An overwhelming majority of 108 party MLAs from the Ashok Gehlot camp in Rajasthan have put their party high command on notice. All this after the Chief Minister received the proverbial blessings from the Gandhis for Congress presidency. And before the 71-year-old war horse filed his nominations for the October 17 election.
What we have decided, जो हमने उदयपुर में decide किया, वो कांग्रेस पार्टी का एक commitment है, तो I expect that commitment will be maintained.
More than 85 MLAs loyal to Gehlot have rejected Rahul Gandhi's idea of one person, one post, even if the Rajasthan veteran takes over as Congress president. They made no secret of their dislike for Sachin Pilot, insisting Gehlot's replacement, if any, should be from among 102 MLAs who backed the state's Congress government when the former Deputy Chief Minister rebelled in 2021.
सोनिया गांधी जी, राहुल गांधी जी, एक अशोक गहलोत बनने में 50 बरस लगते हैं। मैं हमेशा कहता हूं, हमसे बहुत सीनियर, हम तो बच्चे हैं पॉलिटिक्स में, उनके सामने उम्र में भी बच्चे हैं। ये लोग मिलकर जो फैसला कर देंगे वो सब मान लेंगे, लेकिन पतो तो पड़े काई हो रही है। अशोक गहलोत जी को जब पार्टी आला कमान ने आदेश दिया है और कांग्रेस का कार्यकर्ता देश उनकी तरफ देख रहा है, 3 बार के सीएम है, 3 बार प्रदेश अध्यक्ष रहे राजस्थान के, बहुत सीनियर कांग्रेस लीडर हैं, तो वो बनेंगे, मुझे ऐसा लगता है, उनको बनना चाहिए। और इतना सुन लेना आप, राहुल गांधी जी की यात्रा से बीजेपी डरी है।
The Gehlot camp wants that the new party president post-October elections be instead empowered to decide who will lead the Rajasthan government. They AICC observers struggling to troubleshoot the crisis haven't minced their words either. They call their stance an act of indiscipline and they demand a call to conflict of interest.
जैसे मैंने सुबह भी कहा कि जब कांग्रेस विधायक दल की औपचारिक बैठक जब करी जाती है, जब कांग्रेस विधायक दल की औपचारिक बैठक रखी जाती है, तो उसके पैरेलल कोई भी और विधायक दल की बैठक के पैरेलल कोई भी और विधायकों की अगर मीटिंग बुलाई जाए तो वो प्राथमिक दृष्टि से इनडिसिप्लिन है, वो प्राथमिक दृष्टि से अनुशासन विरोधी है।
पार्टी को यूनाइटेडली रखना है और पार्टी के अंदर डिसिप्लिन रहना चाहिए।
For now, the Sachin pilot camp maintained a low but firm profile till his loyalists put up his posters in Jodhpur.
हम सब लोग कांग्रेस में आस्था व्यक्त करते हैं। सब लोगों को मालूम है कि जो भी आलाकमान फैसला करेगा, जहां अधिकृत रूप से हमें बुलाया गया था, जहां फोन किया गया था, हम लोग पहुंच गए थे।
हमारे आलाकमान के ऑब्जर्वर कह रहे थे, इसमें फिर संकोच किस बात का है?
आपको लगता है कि कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए? उनका मानना है
वो सब टाइम पे सब चीजें हो जाएंगी, आपको चिंता करने की जरूरत नहीं।
लेकिन सचिन पायलट सीएम बनते रह गए गहलोत की वजह से।
ये आलाकमान को तय करना है।
क्या आपको लगता है कि अशोक गहलोत का अब राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष ना बनना तय है?
आपको क्या लगता है?
आप बताइए सर, नेता आप हैं, आप बताइए।
ये तो आम आदमी जानता है, एक बच्चे से पूछेंगे ना तो वो भी बता देगा। इतना एपिसोड होने के बाद में कोई गुंजाइश नहीं बनती।
The Rajasthan crisis couldn't have come at a more critical time for the party when its leadership is trying hard to reverse its sagging fortunes. The leader tipped to replace the Gandhis, seen as tipping the balance in his favor before taking the saddle.
Now, in the face of a strong regional satrap like Ashok Gehlot flexing his political muscle, will the Congress High Command cower down or will it dig in its heels? The big question, will Ashok Gehlot fight for the President of the Congress? Will he file in his nomination? With camera person Ravikant Totawar, Devankur Vadhawan and Moshmi Singh in Jaipur, Preeti Chaudhary for India Today.
So what happens next in Rajasthan, in Kerala and in the Congress in Delhi? Rajdeep Sardesai joins us. He's been dialing the phone lines. Is it now certain that Ashok Gehlot cannot be Congress president, or is he still hoping to work out some kind of compromise formula?
Rahul, the news that we are getting, speaking to someone very close to Ashok Gehlot, is simply this. A, he says, importantly, we are not rebelling against Sonia Gandhi. Please do not make this Gehlot versus Gandhi in the ways that you are projecting at the moment. I am happy to move to Delhi as Congress president, but the choice of Rajasthan chief minister must be left to the MLAs. Number 3, I hope to meet the Gandhis and resolve this issue. Ready to step down as Rajasthan chief minister, but only after the issue of the new Rajasthan chief minister is resolved. And along with this, we are told, Rahul, that the Gehlot camp is particularly upset with the central observers, claiming that a one-line resolution had been decided upon authorizing the Congress president in advance to decide on the successor, and that Sachin Pilot had been almost anointed as that successor. Their claim is that Ajay Makan and Mallikarjun Kharge, when they came to Jaipur, should have first consulted all the MLAs before holding the CLP meeting rather than choosing to do so after the meeting. Now, this is what the Gehlot camp is claiming. On the other side, what those close to the Gandhis are claiming is that an agreement of sorts had been worked out with Mr. Gehlot, that the moment he was ready to file his nomination as Congress president, he would step down as chief minister and leave the decision of his successor to the Gandhis. Now, the Gehlot camp says no such agreement on Sachin Pilot was ever reached, and that's where I think things broke down, because the truth is Mr. Gehlot wants to have at least one foot in Rajasthan even if he becomes the Congress president, and for him, having Sachin Pilot would virtually mean the end of the Gehlot era. So I think what's happened, Rahul, is a lack of political intelligence on part of the Congress leadership, where the left hand at times didn't seem to know what the right hand is doing, the absence of political crisis management, and a weakened high command that cannot enforce its writ on assertive satraps like Gehlot. But The sense one got after speaking to sources close to Mr. Gehlot is it's not as if he has given up on moving from Jaipur to Delhi, provided his person is made the chief minister.
One of the key associates of Ashok Gehlot in this entire drama is Pratap Singh Kacharewaz. He joins us now live from Jaipur. Kacharewaz ji, कल से पूरा देश आपको देख रहा है. एक तरीके से आपने इस लड़ाई को गहलोत बनाम गांधी बना दिया है. गहलोत जी को चुना गया गांधी फैमिली के ट्रस्टेड उम्मीदवार के तौर पे कि इनको बनाया जाएगा अध्यक्ष. आपने फेंकी ऐसी गुगली कि पूरा देश देख रहा है कि ये कचारियावास जी क्या कर रहे हैं, क्यों गहलोत की गांधी से लड़ाई करा रहे हैं आप?
एक बात आप मानकर चलिए, ये लड़ाई गहलोत वर्सेस गांधी नहीं है. गांधी खानदान के लिए सोनिया गांधी जी, राहुल गांधी जी के आह्वान पर हम सब लोग, राजस्थान का एक एक विधायक, मोदी सरकार के खिलाफ राहुल गांधी जी की यात्रा चल रही है. जब भी आह्वान करेंगे सोनिया जी, राहुल गांधी जी, हम हमारी जान दे देंगे, अपना खून पसीना बहा देंगे. लेकिन ये लड़ाई गहलोत वर्सेस गांधी नहीं है. आप ये मानकर चलिए, जब बीजेपी ने षड्यंत्र करके सरकार गिराने की कोशिश की तब 1-1.5 महीने तक सारे एमएलए कैंप में रहे और उस कैंप में रहकर सरकार को बचाया गया. तब गहलोत साहब ने कहा हम सब एमएलए के अभिभावक हैं. और कल जब मैं खुद गहलोत साहब के साथ तनोट माता जी के मंदिर गया हुआ था और डोटासरा जी थे, हम तो वहाँ थे हिंदुस्तान के बॉर्डर पर. तनोट माता जी का मंदिर हुआ, आप इतिहास पता करना, आपको खुद को लगेगा कैसा चमत्कार है इस देश में. ये वास्तव में राम और कृष्ण का देश है. वहाँ 450 बम गिरे लेकिन फूटे नहीं. और आखिर उसी मंदिर में घुसकर हमारे लोगों ने इंतजारी की. सुबह और फोर्स पहुंची और फिर पाकिस्तान को खदेड़ा और वो लड़ाई हिंदुस्तान जीता. हम तो दर्शन कर रहे थे गहलोत साहब.
हमें तो लग रहा है कि वहीं पे खिचड़ी पकी,
जयपुर में
क्योंकि गहलोत जी जो बयान दे रहे थे उसमें तो कह रहे थे कि हाँ सब हो गया है, युवा चेहरे की जरूरत है, मैं हटने को तैयार हूं. अब न जाने मंदिर में जाके आपने दर्शन के अलावा वहां पे क्या खिचड़ी पकाई कि शाम आते आते गहलोत जी ने गुगली कर दी एकदम जबरदस्त.
नहीं राहुल जी, ये मैं आपको कह दूं, कसम खा के कह रहा हूं, मैं क्षत्रिय वंश का, कछावा वंश का राजपूत हूं. हम राम का वंशज हैं, हम लोग राम के वंशज मानते हैं अपने आप को. ये बिल्कुल गलत बात है. हमने एक शब्द वहाँ बात नहीं की. गहलोत साहब 3 बार चीफ मिनिस्टर हैं, हम लोग बच्चे हैं उनके सामने. पॉलिटिक्स में 50 साल लगते हैं जब एक अशोक गहलोत बनता है. गांधी खानदान के प्रति वो इतने वफादार हैं. वो खुद कल एमएलए को लेकर उनका जो एक्शन था उसको नाराज़ थे, लेकिन एमएलए ने उनको कहा कि धारीवाल जी से झगड़ा कर लिया एमएलए ने. मैं माकन साहब से मिलकर 6 बजे होटल से निकला, जब वापस आया एयरपोर्ट से तो माकन साहब ने कहा आप धारीवाल जी को लेकर मेरे पास आ जाओ. मैं धारीवाल जी से मिलने गया. धारीवाल जी मेरे पिताजी से बड़े उम्र में, उन्होंने मेरे को कह दिया कि भैया मैं बात कर लेता हूँ. फ़ोन पे बात कर ली, एमएलए तैयार नहीं हुए. एमएलए ने कहा हमारा इस्तीफा ले लो, लेकिन जो सरकार गिरा रहे थे उनको तो इनाम मिलेगा और जो 102 विधायक सरकार बचा रहे थे उनको आप डराओगे. मुझे एक बात बताइए, जब 1 महीने तक जो लोग सरकार को गिराने में लगे हुए थे उनको तो आज तक नोटिस नहीं मिला. आज मुझे किसी ने कहा नोटिस मिलेगा. भैया हम नोटिस का सम्मान करेंगे, जवाब भी देंगे. कांग्रेस हमारा परिवार है. सोनिया गांधी को देश का कांग्रेस का कार्यकर्ता अपनी माँ के समान मानता है और माँ हमेशा न्याय करती है, ये ध्यान रखना. आप जो लोग सरकार गिरा रहे थे आज वो
सचिन पायलट से एग्जैक्टली प्रॉब्लम क्या है?
सोनिया गांधी
आप उनकी लीडरशिप स्वीकार करने को क्यों तैयार नहीं हो?
लीडरशिप जबरन स्वीकार नहीं होती, लीडर अपने आप आदमी स्वीकार करता है. आप मुझे ये बताइए, इस देश का मीडिया, जब देश में चुनाव होता है तो वोटिंग से सरकार बनती है. बीजेपी की सरकार बन गई, केंद्र में वोटों में जीत गई बीजेपी. राजस्थान में वोट गिरे, कांग्रेस की सरकार बन गई, अशोक गहलोत चीफ मिनिस्टर बन गए, ज़्यादा एमएलए ने उनके लिए राय दी. आप मुझे ये बताइए, इस देश का मीडिया ऐसा क्या हो गया कि बार बार किसी व्यक्ति का नाम लेता है? मैं भी राजस्थान के यूथ मूवमेंट से निकला हुआ हूँ, राजस्थान यूनिवर्सिटी का प्रेसिडेंट बना और यहाँ तक आया. मेरे परिवार के मुखिया भी 3 बार राजस्थान के चीफ मिनिस्टर रहे. राजस्थान के सबसे बड़ी ज़्यादा आंदोलन मैंने किए, संघर्ष मैंने किए. मैं तो नहीं कह रहा मुझे चीफ मिनिस्टर बना दो. आप कैसी बात करते हैं? और राजस्थान में मुझे अब समझ में आया कि दिल्ली से पॉलिटिक्स चलती है. अब आइंदा से हम भी ध्यान रखेंगे और दिल्ली में भी ध्यान रखेंगे. लेकिन मुझे ये बताइए, आज ऐसा क्या हो गया? एमएलए ने क्या गलत कह दिया? फैसला तो हाईकमांड करेगा, सोनिया जी करेगी. उन 102 में से मुख्यमंत्री बनाइए जो सरकार बचाने में थे, उनको मत बनाइए जो सरकार गिराने में थे. क्या गलत कह दिया? अचानक ऐसा क्या हो गया?
नहीं, पर गहलोत जी अपने घर पे बैठे थे, सीएलपी मीटिंग स्टार्ट होने वाली थी, जब बॉल रिवर्स स्विंग होने स्टार्ट हुई जयपुर की पिच पे, कोई भी जो इस वक्त देख रहा है दर्शक, वो ये नहीं मानेगा कि खजारियावास जी की गहलोत जी से लगातार दनादन व्हाट्सएप पे मैसेजिंग नहीं चल रही होगी। ऐसा तो हो नहीं सकता कि विधायक अपने ही दम पे लगे हुए हैं और गहलोत जी का उनको आशीर्वाद प्राप्त नहीं। जो आप लोगों ने आंदोलन किया, जो आपका रिबेलियन था, कहीं ना कहीं अशोक गहलोत का आपको आशीर्वाद था खजारियावास साहब।
एक बात आप ध्यान रखना, मैं आज तक इंडिया टुडे पे बोल रहा हूँ, मेरे बारे में राजस्थान जानता है। मैं इससे बड़ी कसम नहीं हो सकती। मैं मेरी स्टाइल रही है उसकी कसम खा कर कहता हूँ। अच्छा नहीं लगता कि जिसको मैं मानता हूँ उसकी कसम खा कर कह रहा हूँ। ना तो कोई व्हाट्सअप चैटिंग हुई, ना गहलोत साहब से बात हुई। हमारे यहाँ पर जो राजनीति मैं करता हूँ उसमें हम मैनेजमेंट, स्क्रिप्ट और मीडिया मैनेजमेंट से राजनीति नहीं करते। जो लोग दिल्ली में बैठकर मीडिया मैनेजमेंट से राजनीति करते हैं ना, जो आप जिनका नाम लेते हैं बार बार, मैं सड़क का आदमी हूँ। दोनों का इतिहास लोग जानते हैं। सड़क पर खून पसीना बहाकर यहाँ तक आया हूँ। आज भी सड़कों पर जितना खून मैंने गिराया ना राजस्थान, उतना किसी ने नहीं गिराया। इसलिए आप मुझे बता रहे हैं, मैं मैनेजमेंट से पॉलिटिक्स नहीं करता। और कसम खा के कह रहा हूँ, सुबह से मैं बोल रहा हूँ मीडिया पे, एक बार ये दिखा देंगे आपको, बजरंगबली का राम दरबार यहाँ पर है, देवांकुर जी दिखा देना इनको। मैं एक बार मेरी आज गहलोत साहब से बात नहीं हुई। अभी मैंने धारीवाल जी का भी सिर्फ प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस देखी है। हम लोग आपस में बातचीत करके कुछ नहीं बोल रहे। आप मुझे पूछ रहे हैं, मैं आपको जवाब दे रहा हूं। ऐसा नहीं है, मैं आपको
जो मैंने किया, गहलोत जी इज नॉट इन्वॉल्व, मैंने खुद ही कर दिया। राजदीप भी आपसे कुछ पूछना चाहते हो, जवाब भी देना चाहते हैं। राजदीप, डू यू बाय दैट?
तो देखो, ऐसा है कि अशोक गेहलोत इज अ लार्जर देन लाइफ फिगर टुडे इन राजस्थान। सो खचरियावास जी कैन से व्हाटएवर ही वांट्स। एंड ऑफ द डे अशोक गेहलोत को पत्ता भी हिलता है जयपुर में, उनको पता चलता है कांग्रेस में क्या हो रहा है।
मंदिर में साथ दर्शन करने गए थे, कहते हैं वहां पे बात नहीं हुई। लेकिन इस बारे में
नहीं, तो ये कहना कि ये पूरी जो बगावत एक तरह से है, अशोक गेहलोत को इसके बारे में कुछ नहीं पता था, ये बिल्कुल गलत है। और मुझे लगता है खचरियावास जी ये मानेंगे।
कसम खा रहे हैं गहलोत जी की?
नहीं, खचरियावास जी, ये सवाल ये उठता है, आप मुझे कह रहे हैं इतने।
राजदीप
जी बताइए सर।
राजदीप जी, ये जो आप मुझे कह रहे हैं, तनोट माता जी के यहाँ सुबह मैं, गहलोत साहब और डोटासरा जी चले गए। 6 बजे हम लोग हवाई जहाज से उतरे, और जब हम हवाई जहाज से उतरे तब मुझे ये पता, हमें ये तय हुआ था, गहलोत साहब ने कहा 7 बजे अपनी विधायक दल की मीटिंग है, आप दोनों खड़गे साहब और माकन साहब से मिलके और फिर उनके साथ मीटिंग में आ जाना। डोटासरा जी गए वहाँ बात करने माकन साहब से, तो मैंने कहा मैं घर होके वापस आके मिलूंगा। तो डोटासरा जी उनसे बात करें, फिर मैं 6:30 बजे पहुंचा। मैंने बात की माकन साहब से। माकन साहब ने मुझे बताया कि धारीवाल जी के यहाँ पे 20-25 विधायक इकट्ठे हो गए, आप उनको लेकर आ जाइए, ये सच्चाई है। मैं खुद गया धारीवाल जी को लेने, तब वहाँ 50 से ज़्यादा विधायक इकट्ठे हो चुके थे। धारीवाल जी संसदीय कार्य मंत्री हैं, वहाँ इकट्ठे हो गए थे। मैंने उनकी फ़ोन पर बात कराई, और ये जब हम वहाँ पर थे, उसके पीछे ये सारे इकट्ठे हो गए। मुख्य सचेतक महेश जोशी जी और बाकी एमएलए मंत्री सब वहाँ पर इकट्ठा थे। मैं सच कह रहा हूँ, इस सारे मामले में हम तीनों की वहाँ पर रास्ते में कोई बात नहीं हुई। पीछे से एमएलए इकट्ठे हो गए, धारीवाल जी के एमएलए इकट्ठे हो ही सकते हैं। तो उन्होंने कहा कि पहले हमारी बात सुनो, उसके बाद मीटिंग में चलो।
नहीं, सचिन पायलट का कहता है कि 50 एमएलए जो है वो आपने जबरदस्ती करके बंद किए हुए हैं, उनका कोई इरादा नहीं था आपके कैंप में आने का। और अगर गांधी फैमिली ने इंडिकेट किया कि सचिन पायलट ही सीएम होंगे, तो कम से कम 40 से 50 लोग खचारियावास जी को छोड़ के सचिन पायलट के पास आ जाएंगे, ऐसा दावा उनका कैंप कर रहा है।
तो सचिन पायलट जी से खुद से पूछ लिया करो ना, वो खुद ही आके बयान दे दें। कोई सचिन पायलट जी को बोलना चाहिए। एक बात बताइए, जब वो पिछली बार गए थे तब 19 लोग उनके साथ गए थे। ये तो सही है या गलत है? 19 गए थे,
सही है।
और 1.5 महीने तक वो बैठे रहे मानेसर में, तब 50 नहीं गए भाग के। अभी तक सरकार चल रही है, और उनमें से 4 आदमियों या 5 आदमियों को मंत्री भी बना दिया, तब भी उनके पास नहीं गए। कल भी वो उठ के नहीं गए। कल तो लोग धारीवाल जी के घर पहुंच गए और सीएम हाउस नहीं पहुंचे। क्या बात कर रहे हो आप? प्रैक्टिकल बात कीजिए राहुल जी, इतना पार्टी नहीं बनना चाहिए।
अच्छा, ऐसा लगता है कि आपने जो किया उसके बाद गहलोत जी का चांस थोड़ा खराब हो गया है। ये बताया जा रहा है कि गांधी फैमिली काफी नाराज है गहलोत जी से।
मैंने कुछ नहीं किया। यदि मैं करता तो हाँ कर देता। मुझे डर नहीं लगता है, जो मैं करता हूँ वो बोलता हूँ। ऐसा मेरे करने से नहीं। एमएलए सब, मैं भी एमएलए हूँ, मंत्री हूँ, और मेरे जैसे एमएलए राजस्थान में कांग्रेस के पास 125 है। मेरे कहने की जरूरत नहीं, सब एमएलए अपना डिसीजन लेते हैं। सबने लड़ाई देखी है।
नेक्स्ट क्या होगा, अगला यहाँ पे क्या होने वाला है? आप चाहते हो कि गहलोत जी आप ही के पास रह जाए, मतलब दिल्ली ना आए हमारे पास?
सब अच्छा होगा, बिल्कुल। गहलोत जी राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष बने, दिल्ली जाएं, पूरा देश का नेतृत्व संभालें। गहलोत साहब ये मानकर चलिए, इस देश में आटा दाल चावल पर टैक्स लग गया, पेट्रोल डीजल से महंगाई हो गई, हर 1 घंटे में 4 लोग आत्महत्या कर रहे हैं। राहुल गांधी जी सड़कों पर संघर्ष कर रहे हैं, हम भी सड़कों पर रोज आंदोलन करते हैं केंद्र सरकार के खिलाफ। ये वक्त मोदी सरकार से लड़ने का है, बगावत करनी है हमें मोदी सरकार के खिलाफ, संघर्ष करना है मोदी सरकार के खिलाफ, जवाब देना है बीजेपी को। मैंने अपने लोगों से कहा, कहाँ हमको नोटिस दे रहे हैं, नोटिस दो बीजेपी वालों को, संघर्ष का आह्वान करो। राहुल गांधी पैदल चल रहे हैं, छाले पड़ गए हैं पाँव में। इस वक्त ये छोटी मोटी बातें देखकर, ये वक्त ये नहीं है कि कौन नेतृत्व करेगा राजस्थान में, ये वक्त है कि बहुमत के आधार पर डेमोक्रेटिक सिस्टम से जिसके पास एमएलए हो, हाईकमांड उनसे बात करके जिसके पास बहुमत हो उसको चीफ मिनिस्टर बना दे। और कोई ये झगड़ा ही नहीं है चीफ मिनिस्टर का, लड़ाई बीजेपी से लड़नी है, आपस में नहीं लड़नी है, ना हम आपस में लड़ना चाहते हैं। देश कांग्रेस की तरफ देख रहा है।
Kachariawas, you've emerged in the last 24 hours as the face of this rebellion. आप कह रहे हैं कि बगावत करनी है भाजपा के खिलाफ, एक तरीके से बगावत तो आपने कर दी है, फिलहाल वो कांग्रेस के हाईकमांड के फैसले के खिलाफ, हालांकि ये कह रहे हैं कि इसमें अशोक गहलोत का हाथ नहीं था। प्रताप सिंह Kachariawas for joining us on the Newstrack. Thank you. He said what he said. He's the man who's led this rebellion. I want to throw open this conversation. Sunil Jhakar joins us, former president of the Punjab Congress Committee. Is a man who's been in and now out, has seen the workings of the Congress, understands what's wrong with the way the party is being run. So does Priyanka Chaturvedi, now member of the Shiv Sena. She had this wry smile as she was listening to Pratap Singh Kachariawas and saying, thank God I'm out of this mess. Priyanka, welcome. We have Nalin Kohli joining us, representing the Bharatiya Janata Party. Rahul Srivastav is our National Affairs Editor, and Preeti Chaudhary has been reporting for us from Jaipur. So I want to go across first to Sunil Jhakar. You heard Pratap Kachariawas. You've seen the inner workings of the Congress. Is it, according to you, at all possible that Pratap Kachariawas led this entire rebellion against the decision of the Gandhi family without the active participation of Ashok Gehlot, as he'd like us to believe?
Rahulji, I don't think it's for me to comment who has led the rebellion or not. But what I can see ironic in the 2-3 statements which I've heard now, first coming from Sardesai ji, he mentioned that nothing happens in Rajasthan which Gehlot Sahab is not aware of. Don't you think, Rahulji, this is something that Congress High Command should have learnt from him? That they could not gauge the emotions, sentiments and the aspirations and anxieties of Gehlot Sahab when he was dragged to contest this presidentship of Congress Party. Second ironic thing is that this whole thing is being carried out, this election for presidentship of Congress Party, is to prove that Congress Party works on democratic norms. And here, on the other hand, they are planning to issue a notice to Gehlot Sahab for this very reason, that the MLAs have raised their voice and they want to express their opinion. What is so undemocratic about it that Ajay Makanji is so upset about it? And it is this very Ajay Makanji, I may not know the working of the High Command in Delhi, but Mr. Khadge Sahab, Mr. Ajay Makan have been at the receiving end what is unfolding here in Jaipur. Khadge Sahab was head of the committee which decided or recommended to Congress leadership that Captain Amarinder Singh ji should be removed from the Chief Minister. Khadge Sahab was the one who recommended Sunil Jhakar should be removed as a PCC president and Navjot Singh Sidhu ji should be made the PCC president. It's to Mr. Makan who came here to execute these recommendations. And what happened? There was a one-liner passed which they are so worked about that the one-liner has to be passed. Punjab CLP, which had 80 members, passed a resolution saying that Congress High Command should take a call on this. But then they decided to have a vote. And this is the irony of it, that out of 80, 42 voted for Sunil. The nearest contender to me had got 16, and the one who was made the Chief Minister got 2 votes, Mr. Channi. So that's why I wrote yesterday that let's see who's going to be Channi, because I thought
who do you think will be Rajasthan ka Channi? You've given this theory that out of this fight between Gehlot and Sachin will emerge a Channi.
Yes.
Kaun hoga Rajasthan ka Channi?
Yes, it's not just Mr. Gehlot and Mr. Sachin Pilot or Mr. C.P. Joshi, Govind Singh Ji Dodasra or Mr. Chaudhary Hemaram Ji. It will be somebody who was instrumental and the prime player in undoing of Congress in Punjab. He also, along with Mr. Makan, Ajay Makan, and Mr. Harish Rawat from Uttarakhand. There was another Harish here, who was called all sort of names, not by Sunil Jakhar, by a member of parliament, sitting member of parliament, who has not been given a notice, who called a gentleman, he says, Rajasthan ka lutera, yahan Punjab mein aaya hai. So I think this person is a blue-eyed boy, and this whole script has been written by him. Everything is being followed to the T. And eventually he will emerge as the black sheep, I call it, not the dark horse. All these five dark horses are waiting and bidding for their time. Maybe they have their achkans all pressed and ready to be sworn in. But Congress has not yet stopped digging its grave deeper. They are still digging. I thought they have reached the bottom, but they are still digging. And on top of that, another ironic thing, before I beg your leave, Rahulji, that yesterday only, Mr. Lalu Prasad ji and Mr. Nitish Kumar ji came and called upon Congress President and asked her to lead the Mahagathbandhan. Here you cannot keep Mr. Gehlot together with you, who has been like a shadow with the High Command all along. And how do you treat Mr. Gehlot? I would say this would be like, as Shakespeare said, the most unkindness. That's the only time I think he used two superlatives. Most unkindest cut of all is that they will issue a notice to him. Isn't this a joke? You can't even keep Gehlot together and you expect to head a coalition which will have Sharad Pawar ji, you will have Yechuri ji, you will have Nitish Kumar ji, you will have Lalu Prasad, and maybe some others also, maybe some other people will also join in. So how do you keep them together? I think here is a living example that somebody has not only kept the Congress government intact, having such a slight margin, like they had 101 MLAs, and he has kept this even in spite of the threat of from within and outside, all kind of challenges. 10 independents are supporting Mr. Gehlot. He should have been rewarded. But this is their own, I think, at least only positive thing that I see from where I sit today. Because I was also issued a notice, and I'm very small fry, I'm nobody compared to Gehlot Sahab. I would not compromise on my dignity and my self-respect, and I don't think Gehlot Sahab would even consider this, that he is issued a notice. And let me tell you, Rahulji, I go on record with you, I'm not here what you call this Schadenfreude, and I'm not seeking pleasure out somebody else's misery. I have stayed with the party for 50 years, and I feel, though I have parted ways, but I still have a feeling, and I think if a notice is given, you can take this notice to Gehlot Sahab as epitaph of Congress party. Any Gairatmand, as would say, somebody who has some self-respect, whether he is a block pradhan, whether he is some leader sitting in Maharashtra or anywhere in the country, they will resign, because this will be a clear signal to all the so-called leaders or the people who have stood by the loyal with the Congress. It would be, tumhara number bhi lagega. And I think the first casualty in this case would be Baghel Sahab. I think there is also a rebellion brewing, and let's see, first let this whole issue unfold, and we will wait for the outcome.
You know, you're in a Shakespearean mood today, but over the last 10 minutes, you've done some aag mein ghee ka kaam. You warned against the consequences which may follow.
No, Rahulji, no, don't blame me. I am not to be blamed. It is Congress party's own doing. Only positive thing that I saw in this whole thing was that at least nobody has yet blamed BJP for it, that BJP's Lotus operation is going on. It is their own doing, and they're still digging deeper and deeper. I don't know when they will stop.
Sunil Kumar Jakar's money is on Harish Chaudhary, who was the Congress in charge of Punjab. He's the man Jakar thinks will be the Rajasthan ka Channi. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Jakar. I want to go across now to Priyanka Chaturvedi, who, as I said earlier, had this very wry half smile as she was listening to Pratap Singh Khacharyawaz speak of all that was happening within. You've been in the Congress, you're now on the outside. The Shiv Sena ran a government along with the Congress and the NCP in Maharashtra. It is true that efforts are on at this moment to bring the opposition together. In the light of what's happening in Rajasthan at this moment, and their inability to hold on to someone who's as close to the Gandhis as Ashok Gehlot, do you think it really signals trouble for the opposition and for the Congress in particular?
I think what is happening within the Congress party is something that the Congress presidentship, Congress leadership would handle. With regards to the change of leadership, the change of Congress being effectively led by Srimati Sonia Gandhi to someone who is coming from a non-Gandhi background. It was Mr. Ashok Gehlot who declared that he would want to contest the president election. It is his MLAs in Rajasthan. It's an elected assembly. MLAs have come winning their constituencies who are showing us, a sense of confidence in his leadership. Then I do not know where would you consider this rebellion? Rebellion would mean that they are going against some kind of leadership that has been maintained over the many years. Mr. Ashok Gehlot has been the leader when he was elected as the chief minister. In 2020, these very MLAs had seen a rebellion happen, engineered by the Bharatiya Janata Party to try and break the rank and file of the Congress party and pull down the government. We've seen that happen in Maharashtra. He successfully managed to undo that coup, continued to be the chief minister. If he enjoys the support of his MLAs and his MLAs have expressed something, I think it is only fair that the leadership hears them out and takes a call which is a call of consensus rather than a call which goes against what the MLAs think. But that is, again, I would like to say that is something which is an internal churning.
So you're suggesting that the Congress should really respect the fact that Rajasthan MLAs, or at least a majority of them, would like Gehlot or someone of his choice and not Sachin Pilot to be the next chief minister, and you don't think of this as an act of rebellion? So I have no act of rebellion. I mean, I would want to understand if there is going to be a consensus on who's going to be leading them. Then the sense of consensus has to come from the MLAs, if I'm not mistaken. I know in BJP, overnight, a sitting chief minister is asked to resign along with his entire cabinet, and the next day the new chief minister is made to sit, and the entire new cabinet swears allegiance to the new chief minister without MLAs being told what is happening, it coming from Delhi. But that is not how it should be. It is something that they have seen. So it's a very unique case. You can't even compare it to a Punjab. What happened in Punjab? Of course, that was a royal mess, but what you're seeing here is something which is a churning internally as far as the top leadership of the party is concerned, as well as the top leadership of Rajasthan is concerned. So the sooner they end it, the sooner they reach some kind of conclusion, the better it would be for the party. And as far as alliance partners are concerned, we are all on page to ensure that we come across as a strong opposition and speak about the BJP's policies which are not working for the people of the country, whether it is price rise, whether it is fuel prices, whether it is various other issues that are afflicting the people of this country, unemployment, taxes, everything. Okay, the Shiv Sena essentially suggesting that you'd want this royal mess to get over and get on with the real task of fighting the BJP rather than fighting themselves. Priyanka Chaturvedi for joining us on the Newstrack. Thank you very much. Nalin Kohli hasn't had much to say so far, and he hasn't needed to, because there is a big Congress Todo Andolan that's going on rather than Bharat Jodo, and this from the BJP's perspective is great news. How are you sitting in the BJP looking at your opponents duking against each other? You'd be delighted.
It's really not about delight, Rahul, and the honest truth is it just exposes the hollowness and the duplicity in the Congress party. I mean, Mr. Rahul Gandhi is on this imaginary Bharat Jodo Yatra. India as a united country has been since 47, after the Todo Abhiyan that resulted in two countries being formed. So, I mean, there is no need to Jodo India. The only thing that needs to be Jodoed is the Congress party. I mean, it's imploding. That's the clear thing. So why pick the BJP up in this so-called thing and RSS and try to make a thing? This is possibly an attempt by Mr. Rahul Gandhi and his advisors to remove focus from the real problems that beset the Congress party. And you're seeing a classic example here of what's happening in Rajasthan. Another point to note is, it's okay. It's for the Congress party to run its party as it wishes to. Its leadership. We are not here to advise it, and nor do we wish to advise it. But the fact of the matter is there are two standards in the Congress party, one for the family, as in the family, and one for the rest of the Congress party. So if you have a Rajiv Gandhi or an Indira Gandhi and perhaps even a Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, I'm not sure about him, but certainly Indira Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, if my memory is correct, they both were presidents of the Congress party while being Prime Minister. But that rule cannot apply to a non-Gandhi family member. So you have a one man, one post. So this also exposes the typical Congress approach, that the Gandhi-Nehru-Gandhi family will have a set of rules, the rest of the Congress party will have another set of rules. So that's the second point.
In the midst of all of this,
the third point is,
okay, go on.
With regard to the Congress party, which just to say that I think Sunil Jakharji made a very, very interesting observation, that you are talking about democracy and what you are seeing is a directive from the top without any element of democracy. So why have this farce? Why? The Congress, look, a political party is entitled to run the way its leadership wants. They have a family-centric leadership. The BJP doesn't have that. In the BJP, a poor person can become the Prime Minister without belonging to any special family, which is Narendra Modi. Or the same would apply to JP Nadda ji, Amit Shah ji, Venkaiah Naidu ji, Rajnath ji, everyone. LK Advani ji, and so on and so forth, right up to Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay, all of them. They didn't belong to a particular family and they didn't occupy the positions in the BJP or in the government for being in a particular family. Now the Congress and many other political parties run around a family. That is their model. We are no one to advise, don't run it like that. But why pretend that you don't wish to run it like that? This entire saga clearly shows that this is how the Congress will run, with the diktat of the Nehru-Gandhi family. So run it like that. Why this hypocrisy about democracy? Why this hypocrisy and duplicity about Bharat Jodo? Everything is there.
Okay.
You do your political work. If you wish to do it, why foist it on somebody else? Why blame us for Bharat Jodo or as if the country is in turmoil?
When you've got opponents like the Congress,
the
government in power doesn't really have much to do. The opponents kind of implode and take each other down. So Nalin Kohli has had very little to do on this show and he's very happy with the way the Congress is imploding. Thanks for joining us, Nalin. We'll come back to you when there's a real fight. The fight should really be BJP versus Congress, not Congress versus Congress. Rahul Srivastav joins us and I've got Supriya Bhardwaj joining us. Supriya Bhardwaj is in Koppam in Kerala, which is where Rahul Gandhi is, and in our entire newsroom, Supriya knows Rahul Gandhi's mind better than anybody else does. So Supriya, what does RG think of what's happening in Rajasthan? Ashok Gehlot was said to be his choice. Both Sonia and Rahul share a good equation with Ashok Gehlot. He's rebelled. His MLAs say Gehlot wasn't involved. Does Rahul Gandhi buy that? He's busy playing football with these kids in Kerala in those pictures from Palakkad. But what's he thinking of this royal mess in Rajasthan?
Well, as far as Rajasthan is concerned and Rahul Gandhi is concerned, Rahul Gandhi last evening had a very long discussion with all his lieutenants, including Venugopal, and today morning Venugopal was rushed to Delhi and a strategy was formed, and at the same time also Ajay Maken was along with Mallikarjun Kharge came back from Jaipur to Delhi. Ajay Maken didn't even meet Ashok Gehlot, and all the leaders in the Congress party are maintaining that the High Command is very angry with the way things have happened in the state of Rajasthan yesterday. That's why the tough stand which has been taken by the central leadership, we are seeing that as to how now the MLAs are coming out and saying that Gehlot is nowhere involved. There's a huge question mark which has been put on Mr. Gehlot now, because on one side he had said very famously that his resignation is with Congress president, and whenever she'll say to step down, he'll step down. But then when the time came, when the moment came, what he did was nothing, but he went all out and actually ensured that there is actually nothing but a show of strength by Jaipur to New Delhi. Well, as far as the Congress's leaders are concerned, the MLAs are concerned, we are picking up this information that already the hunt for the next Congress candidates, presidential poll candidates have started. There are 4 names which are emerging, one being that of Mukul Wasing, second being that of Mallikarjun Kharge, third being that of KC Venugopal, and even Digvijay Singh. So already hectic meetings are taking place in the national capital at the moment. And here also in Kerala, a strong vigil has been kept as to what is the development taking place in Rajasthan as well as in Delhi. So one thing is for sure that this time the Congress party leaders are saying that on one hand we are ensuring that there is a Bharat Jodo Yatra. We were making sure that no issue goes to in the hands of the BJP. But what has happened in Rajasthan has actually...
This better. How did they, there's one thing about having this Bharat Jodo Yatra, the other is about having your nose to the ground and having your ear to the ground and knowing what's going on in your own party. How can the Gandhi family be so clueless about what Ashok Gehlot was planning?
Well, as far as Ashok Gehlot is concerned, he is one of the most trustworthy aide of the Gandhi family. And what has come yesterday, everybody thought that when the CLP leader meeting has been called, all the MLAs will come. They will actually go all out and pass that one-line resolution that Congress president is authorized to take whatever decision. And then there would be a nomination on the date of 28th or 29th by Ashok Gehlot. That didn't happen. What happened was a show of strength, and the development which took place in Jaipur took everybody by surprise, whether it was in Delhi or in Kerala, where the Bharat Jodo Yatra was going on. I spoke to one of the most senior leaders in the party, and he said that what has come is nothing short of a shock, because Gehlot, this was not expected from Gehlot. This is what a very senior leader of the Congress party, a CWC member, has said. So there is a huge criticism which is coming towards Mr. Gehlot's side also. As far as the Congress party is concerned, what we are picking up from the sources is that somehow, most likely, Mr. Gehlot is out from the race of the presidential.
So if Gehlot is out, who and what could happen next? Rahul Srivastav, Mallikarjun Kharge, Mukul Vasnik, Digvijay Singh, KC Venugopal, these are some of the names that are doing the rounds. If you were to do a SWOT analysis, given what's happened with Ashok Gehlot and given how trustworthy Ashok Gehlot was deemed to be before 7 p.m. last evening, what do you think is most likely from here? Is Gehlot completely out? Who's most likely in?
See, Rahul, if you look at the chaos theory, and I think right now what the Congress is going through something like that, though somebody like Shashi Tharoor, with his level of articulation, calls it the Farrago movement, the confused mixture. In that, I think everything seems to be moving. The Congress might eventually have no choice but to lean back on Sonia Gandhi. I think if the Congress has to, because there is going to be further mess. It's not going to end here, because what was initially bad, Sachin Pilot in the bad books of MLAs is now Ashok Gehlot in the bad books of the Congress High Command. Then you have got a situation in which Ashok Gehlot has created a situation in which he wanted to stay innocent by going to the Tanot Devi's temple in Jaisalmer, where his phone doesn't work. But very steadily over the last 15 days, he has been going to different areas where the Grameen Olympics are going on. Now, he has been meeting people on the sidelines, there all the MLAs, and sending across a political message. I think a preparation was on. I think if call records are checked, of several MLAs who reached the gate of the Chief Minister's residence, who called those people, 11 of them, I'm told, that they should actually go to Mr. Shanti Dhariwal's house, so the picture will get clear. I think the Congress has moved into a zone where it will be very difficult for Ashok Gehlot to be there. If Mallikarjun Kharge and others were a choice, then I think the Congress would have leaned on them earlier. I think the Congress needed somebody with experience and trust, which Ashok Gehlot has betrayed. Instead of cutting the hand, biting the hand which was feeding him to the top of the party, he has actually, like a magician, made the powers of the High Command disappear for a certain amount of time. And I think that's why that one-line resolution which Supriya was talking about authorized Sonia Gandhi. I think the Congress High Command's first task will be now to get that one-line resolution passed to ensure that the authority of the High Command is maintained in the Congress party. Otherwise, I think there are some very tough times ahead.
Okay, Preeti Chaudhary joins us from Jaipur. She's been speaking to multiple people in the Sachin Pilot camp. What's Bechara Pilot thinking of what's happening at this moment? He's the typical person who's always set to sit on the Dule ka throne, it never works out for him. He's all set, ready to go, and somehow just at the last moment, the ball seems to swing against him. So what's going to happen to Pilot? What's he making of this?
You know, Rahul, the dust is just about settling on what happened or what went down yesterday. But, you know, if last night we were talking about the fact that, you know, the Jadugar, the magician, Ashok Gehlot has pulled out another rabbit from his hat. You know, by the evening today, at least in Jaipur political circles, there is talk that maybe Ashok Gehlot could have overplayed. The magician overplayed his hand. You know, there seems to be new rigor where the Sachin Pilot camp is concerned. And why I tell you that is, let's look at Shanti Dhariwal's press conference that has just taken place. There is a sense of maybe not panic, but there is a sense of urgency in the Gehlot camp of MLAs to convey to the public that, listen, hey, this is not about Ashok Gehlot and Sonia Gandhi. Why are you making it about the High Command? You know, people like us who come from Delhi to cover, you know, the going-ons here are getting calls from the, MLAs from the Gehlot camp, telling us that why are you projecting it as Gehlot versus the High Command?
No, but while someone like a Sachin Pilot, Preeti, would be a favorite of the Delhi media, and most people watching India Today at this time, I presume, would want someone like him to be the Chief Minister of Rajasthan. He doesn't have the backing of the majority of the Congress MLAs in the state of Rajasthan, and that's the fact. And they're the ones, not the viewers of India Today TV, not the reporters tracking the beat or the story. They're the ones who will decide who gets to be the next CM. Why is he so unpopular amongst his MLAs?
But, you know, the fact is, Rahul, he knows that better. He knows he doesn't have the number. So what has Sachin Pilot done now? He's put all his eggs in only one basket, which is the Gandhi basket, which is rather untenable at this point of time. So if the Gehlot camp is trying to underplay the Gehlot versus Sonia conflict, the Sachin Pilot camp would want us to believe, or would want to overplay, that it is a Gehlot versus the High Command battle. And he's now out of the race. So on that account, Sachin Pilot is hoping that this becomes about a fight between the High Command and Gehlot, that Gehlot is completely cut off the presidential elections. The MLAs will read the writing and slowly gravitate towards back to what the High Command whip was. So that is where Sachin Pilot comes from. He knows he doesn't have the numbers. You know, even if we go with what went down yesterday, not more than 10 MLAs are by his side. But having said that, through the course of the evening, when we've been talking to a lot of MLAs who actually put pen to paper on that resignation yesterday at CP Joshi's residence, many of them, after the news floated that possibly the High Command is not very happy with Ashok Gehlot, that he could be completely out of the president's race, a lot of them are now gravitating back towards maybe not Sachin Pilot, but a constant reassurance, especially to the media, that listen, you know, we are with what the High Command says.
Well, on the one side, you've got Ashok Gehlot, who seems determined to enforce his choice amongst the 100-odd MLAs amongst the 90-odd MLAs who support him. And then there is the Gandhi family, which at this moment, from all indications, is still backing Sachin Pilot, because Priyanka and Sonia made a promise to him that they would help him be CM. Gehlot or Gandhi's, whose writ will prevail. That is what it is down to at this moment. We'll track this story. We take no sides. We bring you all aspects, every dimension of this political drama. I'll slip into a break. I'll have more for you when I come back on the other side. Stay with us. We're back in a moment.
I noticed something new. You've started using a new body lotion. Funny.
I'm so sorry for the delay. I was on another call. It just kept going on.
No, Papa. You have been a steam bath. Steam bath? At home? Two steam bath he takes.
Go to your homework.
It's 7:20 already. The kickoff's in 5 minutes. Get all the boys. We have the entire place to ourselves, man. Not working?
Of course it is. But I don't want you guys to be using this bathroom. So use the other one. Hey, I noticed something new. You started using a new body lotion.
Fun.
I'm so sorry for the delay. I was on another call. It just kept going on.
No, Papa. You were in a steam bath.
Steam bath? At home?
Two steam bath he takes.
Go to your homework.
It's 7:20 already. The kickoff's in 5 minutes. Get all the boys. We have the entire place to ourselves, man. Not working?
Of course it is. But I don't want you guys to be using this bathroom. So use the other one.
What was that like, those early years of struggle? Obviously, a man who's perhaps one of India's greatest poets starts life in a garage.
They used to do touch-up jobs on cars.
वो you know cigarette tin आया करता था एक. That's 8 ounces. And sometimes if it's a small scratch, you need only 4 ounces. And within 4 ounces, you have to match that color and find. And for example, there is black in the color of your chair now.
Yes.
So that was instinctive with me. I didn't know I will become a writer.
You're on board the Newstrack. Navratri celebrations began across India today. From the north to the south, the east to the west, the country drenched in festive colour. 9-day festivities will culminate with Dashera and then finally Deepavali. Enjoy the colours of Navratri.
individuals from this building have commented. Deborah Lipstadt, our special envoy, commented on this. She called these comments, she said she was deeply alarmed by this rhetoric. She made the point that rhetoric of this nature is inexcusable. In some 75 years after the end of the Holocaust.
Traveling from different parts.
Armed with facts,
Looking at political back.
she takes the news by its horns.
Do you think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold, and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories from every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
Presented by Star Health Insurance, the health insurance specialist. Co-presented by JK Tyre Ranger Series. Stay wild at heart.
Good evening, hello and welcome. You're with the news today, your primetime destination, Monday night. The big story is the Rajasthan desert storm. Ashok Gehlot has embarrassed the Gandhis. Have they lost control of the Congress? Whatever happened to the High Command? Also, who will ensure justice for Ankita? That story continues to make the headlines. But first, as always, it's time for the 9 headlines at night tonight. The Rajasthan Congress split wide open as Ashok Gehlot digs in his heels. His camp supporters refuse Sachin Pilot as Chief Minister. All eyes now on Sonia Gandhi as party observers recommend disciplinary action against Gehlot, who still maintains that he's not giving up on being party president. Centre's digital strike down on fake news. INB ministry asks YouTube to down 45 videos from 10 channels aimed at spreading hatred among religious communities. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar takes a dig at the United States over the decision to send F-16s package to Pakistan. Says US is enabling Pakistan to resist counter-terrorism ops. With 10 state elections and the big 2024 election in sight, JP Nadda likely to get an extension to continue as BJP president for 2 more years. 20-year-old ponytail girl who went viral for participating in Iran's anti-hijab protest is shot dead. Meanwhile, in India, pro-hijab stir now spreads to Kerala. India Today confronts Bollywood actor Jacqueline in court. Actor evades questions on her link to conman Sukesh. Bollywood diva has been granted interim bail. Jacqueline is looking for it too. Weak global cues take Dalal Street to their lowest level in 2 months. Sensex Nifty lose over a percentage each. Rupee weakens to an all-time low of 81 rupees and 65 paise to the dollar. All eyes now on RBI's rate decision. Apple starts manufacturing iPhone 14 in India in Foxconn's plant located near Chennai. The tech giant wants to move 25% of its entire iPhone production line to India by 2025. And a deadly school shooting in a Russian city leaves 6 killed, 20 injured after a gunman opens fire. Shooter later kills himself. But the big story comes from Rajasthan, where the Congress is finding itself in a major crisis. Now, sources telling India Today, close to Ashok Gehlot, we are not rebelling against Sonia Gandhi and the Gandhi family. Sources close to Gehlot saying Gehlot is still happy to move to Delhi as Congress president, but importantly, the choice of Rajasthan Chief Minister must be left to the MLAs. Sources telling India Today that Gehlot is expected to meet the Gandhis in the next 48 to 72 hours to try and resolve the issue. So clearly Ashok Gehlot trying to emerge conciliatory towards the Congress leadership. Joining me now is Preeti Chaudhary, who's been tracking all of this in Jaipur. Preeti, it appears that the two camps have very clear views. Sachin Pilot is banking on the